How's it going, everyone? And welcome back for a new video. This right here is the 100 stack of a Pseudo Nuke efficiency fusion, and instead of just spending the next 2 minutes talking, let's get straight into business, shall we? So, if you haven't seen my either 80 or 60 video of this Pseudo Nuke, this right here is pretty much makes random holes all the way down. So as you see, this one here makes quite a lot more holes than the one previous at the 80. So using a 100 stacker is definitely more inferior than this one down here if you use my 80. So this right here makes a fuck ton of holes all the way up, and what a bitch that's going to be to fucking patch. I can just imagine that right now. Anyways, this right here is a Pseudo Nuke, but on top of that is also an efficiency fusion, which is going to make this possible to cannon everything, oops, outside one little hole right there. Now what that is going to do is that it's going to make it possible for your cannon box to only have one cobweb, and that's pretty much it. And that's where the shots comes out from, so they will never be able to get into your cannon to destroy it. Which is also very important when you use a Pseudo Nuke, because normally you'll just make this bad boy right here nuke like 30 walls, and then they'll probably catch you, but you have to patch it. That's pretty much how it goes. Okay, what just happened right there? I'm pretty sure we had... Oh, okay, I accidentally... Alright, that's a bad idea. Maybe not do that the next time, Dexter. So, of course, if you break blocks where the boosters are, it's not gonna work. So try to keep the schematic complete when you shoot the cannon. That definitely works, so go ahead and make sure you do that. This one here nuked. Why it nuked, don't question me. But this right here is pretty much how many fucking holes there's going to be. This is just going to be such a fucking bitch to do. I couldn't even imagine patching all of these holes right here. Gosh. Okay, so this right here again was the Pseudo. Let's go straight a little bit more into how you do different things with this, because this right here is pretty much the same as in efficiency fusion, besides you having the Pseudo Nuke over here, but it's pretty much the same thing. What you can do to this cannon here is that you can disable this Pseudo right here, because I choose not to have the Pseudo inside the Sangar prison that some people do. On the side right here makes it way more easier to disable things. So when this one here is disabled, you will be able to do whatever you want with this right here. You can reverse scatter, you can downward hybrid, you can do whatever you want. This is making this cannon here very powerful, because not only do we have this ability to quickly turn this into a completely normal cannon, we also have the ability to make the scatter, like right here, the exact same. So this right here is pretty much any basic efficiency fusion now. So a quick change makes the Pseudo a simple cannon. So that way you'll be able to fool your enemies into thinking you're not Pseudoing, but you really are. Isn't that tricky? This right here though is the scatter if you don't have the Pseudo on. Of course you can have both on at the same time. Actually, it's going to have a little look on how exactly that looks like, so you guys get an idea of it, how exactly that looks like. So let's go ahead and see how that's going to react when both of them hit it. Not good. So as you can see, it just I didn't even know, like, it didn't work. It just shut it up. I also saw something blowing up right here. Not really sure if that's backfire or what just happened right there. Oh, it does look like we have a double stacked the sand or glass right there. I'm sorry about that. Of course you don't double stack your glass, it's just that I made the glass in the last second here before creating this video here. So of course this is not going to happen again. Anyways, it's gonna shoot the normal scatter up, of course, but you don't need that. All you need is a Pseudo, and it should be making the hole big enough and everything, so you'll be able to do this all the way through. But this right here is pretty much the basic of it. So this right here is pretty much the amount of holes we can fit, because we only have 100 bucks to go with. So all these right here, all the holes all the way up, is, as you can see, maybe one block in between right there. So I can't fit any more holes into it. So hopefully you feel like this is enough holes, or else we're gonna have a problem. But that's pretty much how that works out. Now if you want to do something to this cannon here, if you want to find my guide on efficiency fusion, how it works, you can go ahead and have a look at that. You can easily find it. you'll see that if you just disable this for Pseudo Nuke, it's pretty much the same thing you can do. It's the same concept, whatever. So you can go ahead and you can downward hybrids if you want, so you can reverse scatter if that's what you want to do. So all these different things that you can do. So the reason I did this kind of right here is pretty much so everyone doesn't feel like, oh, this right here is an entire new cannon, and oh, how am I gonna do different things. I made it very, very simple. This is very, very simple. So now it's efficiency fusion for Pseudo Nuke. Now it's efficiency fusion. So if you haven't seen my efficiency fusion collection releases, go ahead and have a look at those. It's pretty much the same thing. You can do just about anything with it. Anyways, this right here is the obsidian breaker. You can use that if there's any obsidian in your way that you can't get through because the scatter here is too small. Now, why the scatter is small is because doing it this way, it's way easier to make a bigger scatter. If you use 8 dispensers, or even 4 dispensers or whatever, it might be a little bit more difficult. And I'm probably gonna make a video about scatters and how all this, why we use 4 here and why we use 8 sometimes, like somewhere else and stuff like that. I'll be able to get more into that whenever we get further in, but for now this is pretty much what it is. So I'm pretty sure this is pretty much everything about this cannon here. This right here is the 100 stacker efficiency fusion for Pseudo Nuke. I know it's a long word. There's not really much more into it. We do have this piston right here that managed us to add a little bit more red sand, which is perfect. Just why not use a little bit more red sand? It's important that you use this one right here. That's very important, because that makes sure that you can't press the sand into the power. Now, I had some issues with this, or some problems reported about this sand compression here, because they said it didn't really work out. It doesn't really work. Which is very, very strange, because this comp here pretty much works on all servers. And most time when I tip it to people and say, hey, this doesn't work, they have forgotten this one over there. This one right here is essential for this one over here is essential for this cannon to work. So make sure you have a redstone right there to make sure it works. To make sure it works 100%. Also, as of right now, we haven't extended to a point where we need dispensers in here. But when that is coming up, you'll be able to see the repeaters right here. Make sure that you take those on as well, else of course it's not gonna work. This over here is not to be messed with. It's a no-go. Do not mess with this, because that's going to change the whole size, the whole positions. And why is those changing the whole positions? Well, that's because we use something called order of entities. And order of entities pretty much say that whatever you activate first always moves first. Or explode first, or whatever you might think about. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at, a quick a test on that, because we might want to test it a bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and stack this 30 down, not because we need to fire again, because we need to do something else. So okay, order of entities tells you that whatever you activate first moves first or explodes first, of course. So to put this to a test, what we need to do is that we need to figure out what is going to activate first in the sand compression. That is this one right here. 14.1? Nope, okay. 12.1. Almost had it. So this right here is going to move first. So you're gonna see whenever we stack that the red sand right here is going to be stacked all the way down at the bottom, because that is what stacks first. Now let's go ahead and take out what is going to be activated last, because that is going to be at the top. So set gravel. This right here is the gravel that is going to be activated last, because that's what kind of pushes it out. So whenever we've done this, we marked up our areas right here of where everything goes. You will be able to see how everything works out. So this right here is the red sand. Right here, you see that some of it stacked a little bit. Okay, this right here is compensation, but you get what I mean. We already have these sand stacks down here. We didn't really remove, so compensation for that. But as you see, the red sand stacked first. The gravel, on the other hand, didn't stack, and that might be because we have a little too much sand into our sand compression. Of course, we won't be able to hit the exact number of 103 sand in the sand compression going out, so we might have 112 or something like that, meaning all the gravel is going to break. Now hopefully Actually, I'm gonna fix that. Maybe I'll see if I can find a solution for it. But as you saw, the red sand stacked first, and the gravel would have stacked last. So that's order of entities. Now, why did I tell you that, and why did I try to show you that, even though that gravel failed a little bit? That's because this one over here uses order of entities to make sure that the sand gets stuck in between the sand. Now, what I just told you right now is saying that whatever you activate first always comes down first. That also means that you can get something in the middle to explode, or you can get different TNT, as you see in these walls right here, different holes all the way up. You can do that by simply putting a pulse into your Pseudo Nuke right here. What that will do is that it will actually create a pulse system. So you see pulse, 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 and it stops whenever that one goes, and that will create the Pseudo Nuke. Of course, we already had a sand stack right there, so it didn't work. But I'm trying to go a little bit more up here. You can see that, you see how it pulses while the sand is moving down. That makes sure that you'll be able to Pseudo Nuke, because the sand is activating before this sand right here, meaning there's going to be a hole on this sand right here. Then it's going to fall too, then it's going to tick TNT out again before this one falls, meaning that the sand is going to get stuck in between this line of sand and this line of sand, creating holes all the way down. It might be a big thing right now, and we're going to come into more of it later, but I don't want this video here to be 15 minutes long. It's just a fucking release. I really want to teach you guys how to do the order of entities and Pseudo Nuke and all this kind of things. It's just very difficult to explain in a way that everybody will understand. But anyways, guys, let's end off this video here. This one here was the 100 stacker efficiency fusion for Pseudo Nuke. Hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, remember to like this video here, comment down below if you have any questions, suggestions, or especially if you have any problems, go ahead and leave them a comment down below. But as always, guys, remember to subscribe to my channel. My name is Dexter, and I'm out.